Costa Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, on today's video, guys, we are going to talk about Khanyisa Mayo. Actually, something that was said by Patrick Mayo, the Kaizer Chiefs legend, and then also we're going to be looking at players like Luke Batman, Flavio Siliva, because definitely there's something interesting that we need to look at in terms of that. But other than that, Bafetu, before we dive into all of those details, and Kaizer Chiefs have made something in terms of Khanyisa Mayo. Please, guys, make sure to like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, don't forget to click the bell notification so that next time when I post a new video, you will get notified and be able to watch that game. Now, guys, 2 days ago, precisely 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was a story that was released by Kickoff to know. They've had an interview. I don't know whether it was them who had an interview with Patrick Mayo, Umjita Khanyisa Mayo, which Khanyisa Mayo is a centre forward who currently plays for ECRB Belouizdad. Now, if you remember correctly, guys, if I'm not mistaken, back in September or September, we saw, Khanyisa Mayo joining CRB Belouizdad, and it was just an hour before Kaizer Chiefs managed to sign Umjita, from where he was playing. I think he was playing for Cape Town City. That is the team, if I'm not mistaken. So now currently, Kaizer Chiefs came in a bit late, and when we look at the story, definitely everything was right. Everything was right to know the asking price that was made by Kaizer Chiefs was of the right caliber. And in fact, let me just show you this so that you can see what I'm talking about.
I can tell you Khanyisa wanted to go to Chiefs. There's no question about it. His father played for Chiefs, so it had a little bit of heritage for him. But he always wanted to leave South Africa.
Okay.
That much is something that he had said to me. I mean, I'd been managing Khanyisa since 2018. It's something that he'd always expressed to me, to be like, I'm going to leave the country. I won't be playing football in South Africa, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, cool. Then it's up to you to make the performance happen. And if you do that, then I'll do everything else. And here we are today.
So Chiefs fell short simply because of the valuation of the player, not because of anything else.
I think Chiefs fell short in that they were seconds too late from the offer that was made by CRB. That's the reality. And from CRB, Khanyisa does have an opportunity to move into Europe, So at Chiefs, I'm not saying he wouldn't move from Chiefs to Europe, but it would be a lot harder for him to move from Chiefs to Europe. He would need a season to make a great name for himself, a second season to prove that he's not a one-hit wonder. And by then he's 27, whereas he does something amazing at CRB for the first season. I can tell you that there will be suitors within the European market that come.
So, as you can hear from the agent, which is Basia Michaels, he's the agent of Khanyisa Mayo and also some of the other players who are supposed to join Kaizer Chiefs but currently have not yet joined Kaizer Chiefs. So, as she said, would know definitely, Khanyisa Mayo did want to join Kaizer Chiefs, which is something that we talked about back then. And then Kaizer Chiefs came in, but they came a bit later with a good offer, a better offer, to be honest, than ECRB. Now, there's something that I feel like, okay, maybe the agent somehow did not want this player to be playing in South Africa. But other than that, I understand, Mayo wanting to go to play in Europe, but now it doesn't look like things are moving well. Who knows? Maybe they made some arrangements to make sure, they bring him back home, because it looks like things are not moving very well for him. But though I don't know, because I'm going to check my result, trying to see how he's been performing, in terms of ECRB, where he's currently at. But unfortunately, I could not find the results. But he scored, I think, around 3 goals or 4 goals in 27 games, which definitely, you might say he's starting to look like a one-hit wonder. But if this information I'm getting from Transfer Market, how accurate it is. But other than that, we go back, we look at the interview that was had by Patrick Mayo with the Kickoff SA Maktiwalana, because clearly they say, no, Khanyisa Mayo, or Patrick Mayo actually, Kaizer Chiefs is currently looking to sign Umjita because of this interview. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense for me as I did Lami. Yuka was a bit hesitant to talk about the story because at the end of the day, yeah, as in though you might think that's how it is, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is how it is, and then the stories speak. But let's just quickly dive into what Patrick Mayo said himself, and then we will jump to everything else because this is what he said. He said, "Yes, Kaizer Chiefs called me last week to find out if I would give Khanyisa my blessing to join the club. It is Khanyisa who will decide whether he wants to join the team. I told Chiefs I would be happy to see Khanyisa at the club because that will be a historic moment. He would be following in his father's footsteps, and that will make me a proud father. But I did make it clear to Chiefs that if they are genuinely interested, they should speak to his current club and buy him, as his contract runs until the end of 2026 to 2027, 2026 to 2027 season. I told Chiefs that they should assign him my jersey number 21 when he arrives at the club, not jersey number 10. They informed me they would get back to me with an update. So I'm still waiting for a response from Chiefs. Now, 2 days ago, it was, what was it? 2 days ago, because today it's Saturday. 2 days ago, I believe it was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So Thursday, that's when Kaizer Chiefs, made that call to ask, okay, would you have us sign Omfana, give us your blessing in terms of Khanyisa Mayo? Because at the end of the day, we did hear Khanyisa Mayo wanted to join Kaizer Chiefs, but also he wanted to move abroad because they felt like he and an agent Taki, it would be easier for him to move from CRB to Europe. There might be a club that will be interested to come and sign him, which definitely I don't think it's happening. So maybe this is why we are having this kind of story. But anyways, moving on, guys, we look at everything, we look at the process. Now, Connor, it doesn't make any sense for Kaizer Chiefs to be able to say, we want you to give us your blessing. But yes, it could make sense for them to say we want to sign this guy because number one, he's South African. Number two, he is a center forward. He can play as a right winger and also as a second striker. And him being that kind of quality player, it makes him the best player that we can have as a center forward because at the end of the day, Mchita is more experienced. He does have experience. He knows everything about PSL. He knows everything about Nedbank Cup. He scored 1080. He played Kabokalem Black Label. He knows everything about PSL, the pressure and everything that is here that needs, to be understood. The only thing I'm not too sure whether he knows about is the kind of pressure, the level of pressure of playing for a club like Kaizer Chiefs. But other than that, you look at, the thing you go to Kaizer Chiefs would be interested in signing Khanyisa Mayo. It does make sense. Yes, I understand he's still contracted to the CRB contract runs up until, the season 2026 to 2027, which, yeah, but if Kaizer Chiefs are seriously interested in signing this guy, maybe they can buy the player from CRB. But I don't think that's an option because Kaizer Chiefs at the end of the day, they're not a team that likes to buy players. So you look at that process, you look at everything, and then also you look at the players that we currently have. 2-0, we have signed them. Nan, even though things are not looking good. You look at Luke Batman, that young player who is another quality. I can see is another quality player who does have everything that we need in a center forward. And then you compare to that player that we've signed now currently, Flavio Siliva. Guys, I do not want to lie. I want us to give Flavio some good time because at the end of the day, as fans, Tina, one thing that we're expecting from Flavio Siliva is goals. And for him to be able to give us goals, Melisim Niggas is Kati, Asnigama goals. And after giving us goals, because at the end of the day, we're not expecting a lot from Omchita. We are not expecting magic. We are not expecting ukuthi ashaya about 369 lapha egroundini. But at the end of the day, we are expecting him to do those fiery shots and they make sure today they land in the back of the net. Other than that, there's nothing more that we are interested, in getting from this guy. So you look at Batman, you understand what, okay, there's a situation, the clearance has not been given. And as much as the clearance has not been given, you can't be able to register that player to say he's part of the squad that is going to play the Betway Premiership 2025 to 2026 season. That is not going to be able to happen. And then you look at Flavio Siliva, he's still not yet gotten there, and he might get there, he might not get there. So definitely you will need to make sure that you have a good backup in terms of the center forwards whilst with Naranjan, because Dupreez, as much as I believe Dupreez will be played as a center forward, I don't think Sumlala that much as a center forward, but I believe coach wants to utilize him mostly as a winger, because that's what I've seen so far. And yeah, I think that's how he's going to play him. It's something I've seen. I think pre-season, if I'm not mistaken, I saw him being deployed as a winger, and definitely that's where I think coach falls like, no, he's going to give us the most playing as a winger, even though it doesn't make any sense, because Dupree is not a player who knows how to cut, and be extra, do those extra touches on the ball. But other than that, we will see what is going to happen. So for me, guys, I was hesitant to do this video because at the end of the day, I thought, okay, this thing doesn't make any sense, but let me just put it out there, and then you guys will be the judge, and you can let me know down in the comment section below. Is it possible that Kaizer Chiefs are currently looking to sign Khanyisa Mayo? Sorry, I don't know why I always call him Khanyisa. Khanyisa Mayo, Patrick Mayo. Well, I don't know. You can let me know down in the comment section below if you too. I believe this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.